play, and why was Korey out there?
Yeah, just mugging the quarterback. There was obviously the plan in place, which spotty at times without question in terms of having guys at second levels of the defense, but still have the ability to play some match coverage so that you weren't voiding a bunch of zones. And so had the ability there again just to drop him and had an opportunity to again if the quarterback scrambled and just had an opportunity ball right place right time, but he came down with it. So very proud of him. And we need to make a play in that moment. There's several instances over the course of the game where we didn't make those plays, and they took full advantage. But we talk all the time about the play has to be made and win. And if you're not careful, the advantage goes to the offense because they know they have to make a play. And so from a defensive standpoint, we got to make sure we match that mentality, guys. And I certainly felt in the moment that we did, and obviously came out.
We've actually got him 100 times. How special was it for him to have this kind of moment?
Yeah, I mean, I think for anybody on the roster in a game like this, to rise to the occasion, and then certainly there's a number of other moments in the game that guys did similar, but still a young guy in the program and a guy that I think all of us are waiting for that moment that that can be a catalyst to kind of springboard. Had a couple I think a week ago, and then. Pretty big stage to have one tonight, so obviously proud of the guys.
Alex, what did you guys do to force DTR into some mistakes?
I'm sorry?
What did you guys do to force DTR into some mistakes?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a difficult matchup across the board. I mean, you just know going into this thing he's going to make some plays, and you want to make sure that as best you can limit the damage. We certainly did not, by any stretch of imagination, do a good job of it. But on the same token is, in some of the 2-minute situations, there was what ended up being, I guess, 2 before the half, and then there at the end is they're trying to mix coverage and try to put him in a situation where he's got to read some things and make some decisions, and then at the bulk of the game, just some really good plays for as the defensive front to kind of get him behind and force him to make some plays, and that's always a better situation to be in as opposed to. The plays he makes are just candy because they're moving the ball so well. Certainly there's moments tonight where it's that way.
You guys shut down Zach Charbonnet a lot with runs up the middle. What do you think kind of went into that?
Yeah, moved I'll say Thule. I mean, one word. And Calen was behind him now. No, just, trying to move him around and trying to have an impact. And then so it kind of hit a few times and kind of stuck with that. And, so that was critical, and obviously just the way the game turned, I think a little bit of it just kind of connected to the pass game, and for us to too many times tonight rewarded, when the ball was thrown in the air, okay, we got to make sure that we're finding ways to make plays in the ball. So I think maybe a little bit of that was some errors on our part.
Calen, last year you guys were 4-8. You had that bad thing at home. What does it mean to you to come back home the past year and get this week?
It means a lot to me, and not just me, but my whole team. The guys that was here last year, we knew what happened last year, so we kind of came in here with that chip on our shoulders. So this is a big win for just the whole team, really.
Alex, after all the lumps the defense has taken, especially in the back half of this season, what does it mean to you to have this team have 4 takeaways for the first time since week 4 and really come through with so many different plays?
Well, I mean, we do. We talk about takeaways equal victory, and sometimes you wish they didn't. When you don't get them, you like to circle something else that has such a huge impact. But if we needed evidence, I certainly think we got it tonight. I mean, there was other good moments in the game by without question. But no, it's critical. And we keep talking about it. We can't just simply have a first row seat to Caleb Williams and Lincoln Riley's offense. I mean, we got to make sure that we have an impact on winning games at USC. And our expectation in terms of how we play, certainly. It is higher than what we've done. We've touched it at times, but certainly it's been difficult for us to put 4 quarters across the board, which goes back to coaching. We got to do a better job of finding ways to get guys in position to make some of those plays, and then having a real sense as a defensive unit, that how paramount your job is. It's hard enough to get a guy on the ground when everything's perfect, against good quality opponents. And then the kind of the 11th guy with the quarterback. And so, no, I'm just really proud of the fight. I mean, if you could circle one thing in terms of program-wide and certainly defensively, you guys just it's fun to be on the sideline with them, and then It may not be fun for them to be on the sideline with me, but no, they fight, they scratch, they claw. It's kind of again, what a great attribute.
What was the game plan with Eric Gentry? You got him out there for a couple of plays. Did you have a setback, or was it just?
Yeah, just not moving at 100%. And that's not fair to him, and obviously not fair to us to put him. Most importantly, we hoped, we wanted to. We've been itching to get him back out there, and it's obviously not smart to. If you're seeing the guy kind of limp as he's pursuing, that's a flag. So maybe a week from now we'll look at it different.
Did that put any more onus on Shane Lee to step up, and what do you think?
Well, it did. I mean, I thought, it's tough to single out because certain moments you highlight a lot of guys, and then other moments some missed opportunities, and that probably is, the story tonight. Now, again, it's a quality, an elite coaching staff. Obviously, Coach Kelly's a tremendous job, and you know what you're in for when you take the field against them, and then they got some good, certainly players on offense, but all the same is a lot of missed opportunities as well. But no, I thought collectively, Shane included, some guys made some plays tonight, which was good.
How was the challenge this year for you compared to some other years in your career, especially first years at places when you're trying to establish things?
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to look at it through a fresh set of eyes, and what you try to so hard to do, and I keep talking to these guys about 11 months, but again, and you're trying so hard to learn lessons and teach lessons, and guys grow in time. Obviously, Calen's just a sophomore, and as a high-level players I'll probably ever coach. I mean, that's how high I think of it. But on the same token is, okay, now we got to go from freshman to sophomore year in this particular instance, and every single guy comes in at a different stage of career, and included in that, some guys come in and transfer. So it's not this one big picture, this is what we got to do defensively. You got to bring everybody along in certain ways, but you're trying so hard to learn lessons on the practice field. You're trying so hard to learn lessons in the meeting room, and football just doesn't always allow that. Unfortunately, you got to do it on Saturdays, and you got to touch the stove and get burned sometimes, and that's probably if I'm critiquing as a defensive staff, and particularly me, not doing a good enough job of finding ways to get some of the things across to the guys in the practice setting, the fall scrimmage, or some of those things. The guys have a real understanding about how important everything we do, everything we're preaching, everything we're saying is, not because it's magic, but 11 dudes doing it, it becomes a whole lot more magical, but a lot goes into it. So, but no, we as a coaching staff, you don't make any tackles, you don't do any of those, they do that, and proud to coach them.
Let's do one more each for Coach Grinch.
Calen, for the guys that were on the team last year that saw UCLA put up all the points, how important was it to get this win and shut down UCLA for that last drive?
Like I said, last year we knew what happened to us last year, but that was last year. So we kind of came in here with a chip on our shoulder. We knew this is a new team. We had a different mindset coming in this year. So we knew what we wanted to do coming in this game.
Alex, you've been part of some pretty big, iconic college football rivalries. Now, having experienced this, how's this one stack up?
Well, I think, obviously, quality programs, in both cases, but certainly this specific year, and obviously every year is different in that, rivalries really become rivalries when you get two quality teams, and it's a back and forth, and both staffs and players, and some highlight reel type of guys on the field, and not always fun to be the defensive in some of these either, but you also know the fight. I mean, both teams are. This thing's going to go the distance, and no, I thought it was big time. I thought it was big time, and I thought there's a healthy respect by both programs in terms of what it means and the guys, and then very fortunate this time around to be on the plus side of it.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.